just need to hear the story.
I don't have anything.
Okay.
Let's get into it.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, this guy needs coffee and clues. Stash.
All right, and welcome everybody. Actually, real quick, I say that every single time I
Yes.
go. All right, welcome everybody. So how you doing? Hey, what's going on? My name is
Sup?
Adam.
What's that? Want to bring that back?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's
What's that?
2003.
Anyways,
How's it going?
my name's Adam Black. With me,
Is Noah Allen. How's it going?
you do that every time too.
I do.
We
I
have
don't
we
know.
have our little. I was
We have our
watching.
things.
So we're on a new channel now. We're
Yeah.
on the new YouTube
Yep.
channel, and I had the privilege of uploading every single video, and then
So you got to see a bit of everything.
I got to see all of
Yeah.
the videos that we have, and I'm watching it, and every single thing is like, and hey everybody, welcome to another episode. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I was like,
You're a robot.
I'm so
evidently.
annoyed at myself. I can only imagine how much other people want to hit
Let's
me.
hope not. Let's hope not.
I feel that way.
You don't have a punchable face. So
I've been called some things on the
yeah,
internet before.
Yeah.
Anyways, so this week we're back in my living room just because the studio is still under construction.
Construction. Yeah.
This happens
Every
literally
time too, yeah.
every other podcast is like, well,
We're kind of like the Dunder Mifflin website. It's been under construction since 2002.
yes.
Yeah.
I was hoping you were gonna say it's
Yeah.
like an episode of This Old House. We're
No,
like,
I've never
we're
seen
like
that show.
Bob Vila's just in the back doing
Oh
some
my God.
work while we're out
Those
here.
are the shows that I turn on. I'm like, hey, it's the guy from Home Improvement. Oh, this isn't Home Improvement. And I turn it on.
Oh, I love those
No,
shows
done,
so much.
Done. Can't do it.
But yeah, so that's what's going on right now. But this week,
Yeah.
we're back at it with the podcast. We are currently. I'm looking outside my window right now, and we just got through like the blizzard.
It's not even a blizzard. That's what's sad.
I know.
It's like I mean, it was a crazy rain for a day, which was awesome.
Okay, so it was the perfect storm though. We have to admit.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
It was like not necessarily blizzard, but it was like rain.
All day long, constant.
Then plummeting temperatures, frozen,
Snow.
solid sheet of ice,
Yeah,
and
and
then
then
it was like snow.
Yeah.
And it was really bad. Like my wife and I, we pulled into our driveway, and our driveway is like kind of on a slope
Yeah.
with like a bigger bump to kind of get out. So it's kind of a pain in the butt driveway a little bit. And we pulled in, and we were like, okay, we'll be fine. We were not fine. Our little car, we were stuck. We were in the car for like a solid hour of me just peeling out, trying to get out of this, driveway.
God, yeah.
We can't dig or anything because it's like broken pavement and gravel.
right.
And so like we're just trying our best, and we're like, "Arr!" and the car is going sideways, and we're just like, okay.
I'm not gonna lie, I would have paid money to see it.
Oh, I was really mad.
Yeah.
I was saying things I shouldn't have been saying, probably causing damage to my car.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, I get that. I get that feeling. When I was, oh God, that was back in 2006, 2005, 6, whenever.
2086.
Yeah, no, 2005, 2006, 2008,
Okay.
something like that. Whenever we had that huge snow that was over Christmas or
Yeah, yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
And I remember trying to get out to go get medicine. And because I was like sick, had to go pick up prescription at the pharmacy. And like, I remember I'm digging myself out and doing this same thing where you're like, "Ring," and your
Yep.
car's just going sideways. And you're like, well, this sucks. Like, I
Yeah,
don't know how
well,
to
this
get out.
sucks.
Yeah.
This sucks.
Yeah, dude.
You know what killed me though is like, so the car that we have now, this is our first winter with this car.
Yeah.
And it is a very small car. So obviously I'm not a small person.
Yeah.
And we have, for anybody who's listening and wants to do a quick Google search, I drive a Chevrolet Spark, and
It sounds like the name.
it's just a,
Looks
it's a
just
little blip of a car.
Yeah.
And when I sit in it, I look like the epitome of either Donkey Kong or Bowser, your choice, in Mario Kart.
Yeah, no, that's funny.
So that's
I
who
would
I
never
am.
say that to you, but that's hilarious.
But if somebody's at a stoplight, they're thinking it.
Yeah, they look at them like, that's funny.
But my point is, so like this is our first year with this car. It's
Yeah.
really little. I'm already uncomfortable with how small this car is. And I'm in it trying to reverse, and it's got like a reverse rev limiter on it. I know all cars do,
Yeah.
but this one is very low. Like you give it a little bit of gas and it's like,
It's like an RC car.
literally, this is the noise you hear. And then it fades away and you have no power. And you're just like, okay, what am I going to do?
That sucks. That's not good.
It was pretty rough.
Yeah. So how'd you guys get out? It just took you an hour?
Prayers and good hope.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Literally, like, so what I did was I was just kind of turning the wheel and digging out ruts,
Yeah.
basically. And then I would rock the car back and forth.
Yeah.
And then eventually we got enough momentum to just kind of get on up the hump and
Oh my gosh.
get out. It was rough. I
Did you
see,
guys-
see Brittany laughing. She's reliving it right now behind camera, just going, it was
Yeah.
awful.
At the almost killing you, you should have gotten out and just pushed it.
Oh my gosh.
Just stuck it in like in reverse. Have Brittany keep driving and you just keep pushing because it's a small enough car.
Whoa.
That was weird. It's a small enough car that it actually. I think you could have done that. I think you could push that whole thing by yourself.
Oh, I probably could have lifted up the car, honestly. But what scared us is, I got to paint this picture just because now.
I mean, I get it. I get why
we're-
it's scared.
Well, we're talking about the blizzard now of what happened. So our driveway, I would say maybe it's a 10 to 15 degree, decline. It's a
Yes.
slope. And then there's like a big speed bump type thing at the curb. So like an
Which
extra,
always makes me nervous.
Yeah, and
'cause
like
I feel
every-
like I'm going over the curb.
Yeah, and everybody bottoms out, going over it. But then our driveway is immediately connected to what I would call almost a plateau. It is
Yeah.
like almost a drop off at the end because we have a gate and then it goes down like stairs. But
That's
the
true.
hill is literally like, I don't know, maybe like 60
Right.
degrees or something like that. It's
That makes
really,
sense,
really
yeah.
steep. And so what happened was what started all this is we drove in our driveway and we're like, it's snowy, it's icy, like we're just gonna take it slow, we're gonna park the car, we don't have to leave tomorrow. Like
Right.
that was our thought.
Yeah.
And like we get in the driveway and I put the car in park and I put up the e-brake and then I put my foot off the brake and we're still moving forward.
That's scary.
And I'm like literally the
this is
only
gonna
thing.
go inside my apartment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna fly off this hill and then the next step is our
Oh my
bedroom
God.
and our kitchen.
Yeah.
And
That
so
makes-
that was-
I get that. Like I think what needs to happen is like you need a concrete. You need to it just needs to be hollowed out concrete wall in front of that leveled. Like that needs a thing done
Yeah.
to it.
And like an escalator or
Wow,
like a
yeah.
sky tram or something to like get us up and down. Like it's a pretty big slope.
Yeah, it is.
I wish I could describe it properly where
Yeah.
people can see the drastic difference.
Yeah.
But it's like we're down here, driveway's up here.
Yeah.
If
yeah,
anybody's
it's-
watching
it's,
on
it's
video.
very different. Yeah.
But yeah, that was our Blizzard experience. But so like just long-winded going that way too long-winded. Do you remember like when we were kids?
Yeah.
Trying to keep this positive. When we were a kid,
Yeah.
we loved winter.
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, I still do.
Well, like
I
we
still
loved it
love
on we loved it on the no responsibilities and no.
Yeah, that's true.
Like
I'm
now.
gonna go sledding.
Yeah, now we have to drive. Now we have to go to work.
I'll be totally honest with you though.
Mm-hmm.
I love driving in snow.
Oh, I don't mind
I
it.
love it. No, I enjoy it so much.
Yeah.
Like I love being out there and like there's nobody else on the road and you're just like do like I just love it. Absolutely
I
love it.
find that I love doing that too, but like in this car in particular,
Yeah.
it's harder. And when we were out on the roads, we had to we got on the highway and it was terrible. Like the highways
Yeah.
were
Oh,
awful.
yeah.
And we were going like maybe 35 on the highway with traffic,
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, this big Ford
Hmm.
F95,000 comes down, barreling down the road, and it's like, dude, just because you have got the world's biggest truck and
Yeah.
4-wheel drive doesn't mean you should probably be going that fast behind me.
You know what? That is my biggest thing. Is like I like being out driving in it. I like being out in the snow.
Yeah.
I don't like other people drivers. Like I
Yeah.
can take care of myself. I drive slow when
Right.
it's like that because I know if I drive fast and I spin out or something happens,
Right.
I can't control that.
Right.
Like it's my fault. So I protect myself. But yeah, you always see those people that are just like, I've got a truck.
Yeah, and
they're
there's
just like, why?
barreling down
Like,
the road.
There's no need.
What's funny though is all those people are going, it's just the other drivers that are the problem.
Yeah, that's true. They're probably yelling at me because I'm driving
and like me,
slow.
like I'm an experienced driver
Yeah.
and like did
Oh, yeah,
racing
same.
and things like that and off-roading. Like I get it. I get that your truck's capable.
Yeah.
I just don't care. I don't trust you.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you may think you can and I've seen people think that they think they can do it and they wreck or something
And
like
then
that.
they
And
can't-
it's just
they
like,
can't
oh,
do it.
you're driving too fast. Told
Yeah.
you, like So
Oh, it's so rough.
But I miss that as a kid though. Like you're right, no responsibilities. Like you go out, you go sledding.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why, but like
I just remember one year. So my friends had this crazy backyard with, again, almost like kind of our backyard situation, but imagine it being 4 times bigger.
Yeah.
Literally just like a plateau of a hill, just almost
Yeah.
straight down. And I remember we built like a sled for our like a ramp for our tube.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have a sled, we had a tube.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
I remember we put like this bump at the bottom of the hill, but we didn't give it quite enough room at the bottom. Like, so if it's hill, I'm explaining this for the camera, going down, usually you wait until it levels out and then you build
put
your
a
jump.
bump. Yeah.
We put our jump, because we were stupid, literally like right where the hill is bending.
Where you start to I gotcha.
And so
Yeah,
what
yeah.
happened is we didn't jump as much as we just flew in the air straight.
yeah, I know. What
So
you're talking
like
about.
we would go down and then we would just go just right,
yeah,
just
I know what
right
you're talking
off
about. Well, we used to growing up on the west side of Cincinnati. We had
the
no front
worst.
yard. Yeah, it was all hills. So we had no front yard.
Mm-hmm.
And one road that we lived on, it was just kind of a hill. Like we lived on the section of it, and there's a hill going down. It'd kind of level off, go around, and then be a V, just a V.
Yeah.
That's the road. It was just a giant V.
Yeah.
So when it snowed, it was awesome, because we have our front yard, and then you have the kids in the whole block area. We'd all go to that road, and we'd just,
Right.
like all day long. I remember one time, me and my sister, we had sleds, and we were like, "This is awesome. This is gonna be great." We built a ramp, and we don't think like, okay, there's the road, but there's snow, no traffic. Like, we'll be fine. And we had my neighbor Herbie was down at the
Herbie?
bottom. Yeah, Herbie. Yeah, and he was
love bug?
No, he was a boy, and he was my neighbor. Yeah,
He was a boy.
He was a boy. He was my neighbor. He was my friend, and we'd have somebody watch at the bottom for
Yeah.
traffic coming down the hill.
Right.
And so if no cars would come, we'd be like, all right, you can come. And so we'd just be
Yeah.
sledding all day. Well, someone wasn't down there, and my sister
Oh my god.
decided to go, and she almost got hit by a metro.
Oh my god.
On a metro bus.
Just
not even
cruising
driving,
on
just
through.
going down, and she had to go, whoa, like spin.
Oh.
It was insane. It was scary.
That is the worst.
But and then at my dad's house, we had snow there, and then we never went out in it because
Yeah.
there was no place to sled. It was all flat,
Yeah.
Well, that's not true.
When,
That's not true.
when you were younger, because I'm just thinking, like you said dad, and I instantly
Yeah.
think of like, oh man, the first time I experienced a donut in a car was with my dad. That ever happened to you as a kid? Like in the snow?
Yes, kind of.
Okay.
Like, okay, we weren't allowed to go to the creek at my dad's house. Like that was the big thing. Like, and so we'd go down there. Of course, you can't go to the creek, guys. Okay,
Right.
we're still gonna go there. So my dad was looking for us. We said we'd be down at the park. He obviously knew the creek's in the park.
Right.
Great. So he's like just waiting for us to come out. And I'm like, guys, I gotta go. I don't want to get in trouble. We're not allowed to play on the creek. And we had kind of crossed it, and my friends are on the other side, and we're on the other. And it's like where we are is like where the exit of the park is towards my dad's house.
Right.
And my dad's just sitting there waiting. He's just watching. And
He's like, I'm gonna catch
yeah,
these
and
kids.
that's it. And the kid across the street, Adam, he goes,
Not me.
not you. He goes, oh, it's cool. I'm going to walk across the ice. And I was like, man, I don't really think that's a good idea because I don't think it's that cold and that thick. He's like, no, I could do it. And it's still to this day. It makes me laugh so hard seeing him go, nuh-uh, and just go 1 foot in, 1 foot in, 1 foot in. He ran across it
While he's falling in.
It's still in my mind the funniest image I've ever seen. And I remember my dad like just pulled like because he was in his Jeep. And I remember him like we're walking out and he was like, "Saw you guys playing in the creek." And I'm like, I didn't go in the creek, Dad. I didn't go in there. But Adam, look at his pants, and they are so wet because he went in there.
He was in the creek.
I sold him out. I didn't care.
Wait.
I sold him out.
How does this have to do with doing donuts in a car?
Just no, because then it just may remind me. Because then my dad he would be like the safe one, so he would get in and he would do like we can do one, and that's it. But it's like you wouldn't play in the creek.
I like how that reminded you of that story.
It did, yeah. Because he picked us up and drove us back to his house, and it was like around the block. But it's like there was like an area there in the parking lot where it was like a roundabout.
Yeah,
and he would just be like, "Okay, we gotta go home now." Like he was like, "No, I don't want to ruin my Jeep. If I wreck it, I'm gonna be angry."
Yeah, I get that. So like I said, we grew up in a family that was like always about cars, muscle cars in particular, and everything. But honestly, kind of on a similar scale, we lived right by a creek. And that is where we played. Though.
Yes, right.
And like our parents didn't care. They were like, okay, you guys are down in the creek, and it's and like now that I look back at it and go, that creek's disgusting.
Yeah, no, that's probably why they were like, don't play in the creek. That's gross.
My parents were just like, go for it. And I'm like, there's turds.
yeah.
Like, literally.
there's trash in there.
Yeah,
like, it's gross.
Gross stuff. And then, side note, so legitimately about this creek, we found out years later, as we grew up, there was like always ghost stories and stuff about the creek and all that. No, turns out 2 little boys actually died in that creek, and it took them like 3 years for the remains to be found. And our parents were just like, cool, go for it.
Yeah, just go ahead and play there.
So like once we realized that was a true story, we were like, what are you doing?
We ain't going down by the creek.
Anyways, so we loved the creek. We'd go through the creek all the time. And one time, like that was how we traveled too. Like, like where I grew up, it was like one side of town was here, go through the creek, get to the other side of town.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And so one time my dad said he was out driving around and everything, and we literally were walking through the creek playing on the ice, just doing all those things. And then we get to the soccer fields at the end of the other side of the creek, and all of a sudden my dad comes down the hill, and it was like where our swim club was, our village swim club.
Yeah.
And so like there's a big parking lot down there and everything. And he comes down, he's like, "Hey, Adam, what are you doing?" And I'm like, nothing. He's like, "Come on, get in the car." And I was like, I don't know how old. I want to say like 8,
You're
9,
like, okay,
10.
yeah.
I was a kid. I was a little kid. I literally don't even remember how old I was.
Yeah.
But I was like, sure, whatever. And he bought a 4x4 Blazer at the time, a Chevy Blazer.
Okay, yeah.
And it was really nice, really beautiful car. And we get in it and we're driving around. He's like, "Watch this." Like I literally get in. I'm not buckled, by the way. Like he drove
That's
up.
good parenting
Stopped.
101.
I get in, not buckled. He goes, "Watch this." I shut my door and he whips that thing into 4-wheel drive and just does like a perfect circle of a donut in 4-wheel drive.
Oh my
So like the
gosh.
car is just literally spinning. It's not like going, it's just going.
Dude, that's funny.
And my head hit the window so hard that I remember my first donut, me just trying to like stay conscious and freaking out, going, "What are we doing?" Like my dad's trying to kill me.
Oh my gosh. That's funny because I after those few experiences with my dad where it's like literally one donut, that's it. That's all you get.
Yeah.
And then that's it. I want to wreck my car. Fast forward to like high school, and then my different friend Adam. I have a lot of Adams in my life. I don't know what the deal is. Whatever. They're good.
The only one.
You are the only one. But my friend Adam had this. God, I can't remember what it was called. But this souped up car. His family was just into cars. So I remember anytime it snowed, and because he had his license prior to me and stuff.
Yeah.
And or prior to me having a car or whatever. But we would all pull, like get in his car.
Right.
And we'd find a parking lot and we'd
Go
do
nuts.
donuts. Yeah, for like an hour.
Yeah.
That's all we do. Like it's random. I don't know what I don't know.
It's so much fun.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
I just remember, so like once I became old enough to drive, My first car ever
Yeah.
was a Ford Aerostar XL, which was like
yeah.
a terrible first car.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
no.
it's basically the most giant, ugly van in the world.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
I
You're the
remember,
band
like-
van. That's you just had a band van. That's it, man.
And that's what we used
Yeah,
it for.
yep.
So like it was the band van, and it was great. But I remember the first time it really snowed in that car, I took it out and I was like, we're doing some donuts.
yeah.
And that car, like, it didn't have a lot of power or anything. So literally, it was kind of like you drifted a little bit.
Yeah.
And you never made a full circle because it
Right.
wasn't like strong enough to do so. And I was like, all right, this is kind of fun. So you would just find parking lots to go do that in.
Yeah.
But then I remember getting my next car, which was a Honda Passport.
Okay,
Or
okay.
in a Zuzu Rodeo, depending on what year, because I guess it's the same car.
Right.
Just for anybody who's listening. And so I remember getting that car, and it was my first car that had an emergency brake.
Oh,
and
that's fun.
I said, what's this do? And then like I was learning on driving
Oh
and
my
stuff.
gosh.
And then so like everybody's like, yeah, pull the e-brake while you're driving, like do drift. And I was like, yeah, really? And so I remember just
No.
going. They were like, go like 40 miles an hour. Literally, they were like, go 40 in the snow, cut your wheel, pull your e-brake. And I was like, okay. And so like I'm just learning things at this point, and I'm driving, I'm cruising, and I do it. I cut the wheel, I pull the e-brake, and it wasn't like a pretty like we're drifting.
Yeah.
It was literally spinning out of control at 40 miles an hour, going, oh Lord, like, somebody help us.
You know what's funny about that is I had my first time I ever drove in the snow. I remember that we had a band practice. It was a Saturday afternoon. I had to get to band practice, and I remember I was like in high school, senior year. I remember getting up, I'm driving, and literally like where our practice space was, it was next to the Midas over off of 32, and so like. When you're going, it was a dip down into the parking lot.
I know
for
exactly
a
what you're
long
talking
time.
about.
Yeah. So you had to dip down into the parking lot, and well, that was ice, and I didn't realize. I never, for whatever reason, I just forgot, or no one told me that you don't slam on your brakes.
Right.
And on ice, you tap them
Yep.
to slow down.
Yep.
Well, me being, literally, I've been driving for like 4 months.
Right.
I'm like, and I slam on my brakes, and I literally hit the dude's truck who worked at the Midas, hit it, spun it, like pushed his truck, and he had
Yeah.
like an old like F-150, like 81 F-150, man.
Right.
Pushed it, knocked it away. I pull up, I was like, oh my God, guys, I totally just hit the dude's truck. Nothing's wrong with my car. It's his car. Just got a couple dents in it. I just need to go tell him.
Just got a couple dents in it.
As I'm telling him, he opens the door to our practice space, comes walking. He's like, yeah, are you going to come tell me that you came hit my truck? I was like, yeah, I was telling him I was okay. I'm really sorry. He's like, let's go look at it. I've never had more
Oh my
of a
gosh.
scared walk of shame in my entire life. Of
Yeah.
I
did-
oh my
I did
gosh.
something wrong.
Yeah, like I never felt that. He was like, just the way he was like, come on, let's go look at it. And I was like, like
It was the
nervous.
dad voice,
Yeah,
right?
I was
Like,
like, oh my
you're in
God, oh my
trouble,
God. Yeah,
mister.
it was so scary. And he looked at it, was like, it's fine. Just need to pay attention. Make sure you're braking. When you brake, you want to tap your brakes, not slam on them. And I was
Yeah.
like, thank you for tapping me out, sir. I appreciate it so much.
I know
Like,
that. I know that exact feeling. That is a
Oh,
pure
man, yeah.
fear feeling.
I was like, oh my God, my mom's going to kill me. Like,
Yeah.
that's literally what I thought.
I'm gonna lose my license. I'm gonna lose everything.
yeah, it's ridiculous.
Oh man, I just love more than anything. Like Brittany and I were talking earlier, and it was just like all these memories that pop up in snow, or like when you do something and you just your car gets sideways, and you're like, oh, I remember this stuff. I just love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
This winter is this is honestly kind of like the first snow we've had
In about 2
in
years.
like 2 years.
Yeah.
So I feel like our city forgot how to drive it and stuff. So
That's true.
It's
That's
been a little frustrating in that
yeah.
regard.
I mean, I'm hoping. I would love to. I'm just the person that if I could live in a constant snowy environment, I would.
Really?
Yes, I love it.
See, I love the snow. I love more than anything that Ohio gets real seasons.
Yeah.
Like we really get a winter, we really get a fall, a spring, a summer.
Yeah.
But this year, I'm just like, I either want it to become winter and be snowy winter wonderland, or I want nothing.
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
it's
No,
just
I get that.
It's just I want the full
I-
experience.
You know, man, I don't know, but I'm also the kind of guy that's like, I could be out in flip flops and like shorts
Right.
and a hoodie, and it's like 6 feet of snow, and I'm like, it's kind of nice on here. I kind of like it.
Kinda
Like,
nice out here.
that's just me.
I'm yawning.
I love it so much. Like, it's just my thing.
I apologize right now to everybody.
It's all right. I've been doing the same.
I know,
It's
I
just been a
just-
long week.
I just keep yawning. It's only.
Tuesday.
Oh my god! It's only Tuesday after filming this, and I'm like, this
It's
week.
only Tuesday.
This week is a long one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which honestly, like, I mean, that gives us another topic. You know, we can end up wrapping this one up.
Yeah.
But like, this is one of those podcasts. I don't think people know this. Let's
Yeah.
let's say this. We've
Okay.
said it before. We don't plan these podcasts.
No, of course not.
We-
If there's any sort of planning, I mean that we actually plan things.
I just
that's
just
not who we
wonder
are.
if people actually realize like no, like we set this up different every single week. Like, you know, on a technical aspect, sometimes we have headphones, sometimes a different camera,
It's
sometimes
because we wrecking balls, brother.
we reckon balls. But no, we don't set up. We don't
No.
pre-plan anything. We're like, okay, we're two friends that have busy schedules. We found time. We're gonna get together. We'll
Just
film a
chat.
podcast. We don't know what to talk about. What's been going on for the week? And like this past few weeks, you know, in the last episode, we talked about like how like my cat died, and like everything.
Yeah, it
and
really
then-
brought it down.
yeah,
It's
and-
great.
No.
No, I'm sorry.
You know, real Debbie Downer over here. But like, you know, it's been a rougher start to the year than I think
That's true.
I anticipated, and I think you've been having a little bit of rougher go
Yeah,
at it
well,
too.
Life
hasn't-
is life.
It
you
hasn't
know?
been all dandelions and butterflies.
Oh, I would say puppy dogs and rainbows, but that's fine. Yeah,
I
same
didn't-
thing.
I didn't say it because
Yeah.
I don't like that
Yeah,
one.
me neither. But that's just how life should be.
But you know, so like, my point is,
Yeah.
we don't plan this.
No, never.
And this is a prime example of what I like about this podcast,
Yeah.
though. Like, if we're going to get serious for a moment, because sometimes it's really difficult to be like just super positive.
It is.
Like, it's really, really difficult. Like, I do it more often
Mm-hmm.
than I think more others, because it's been kind of a coping mechanism for me over many years of
Yeah.
like a lot of hardships that I've gone through and everything. So I'm like, okay, you know, I'm gonna be positive. Like, yeah, life sucks, but
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So like, I do that more and more, and it's an effort. It's not necessarily really
Right.
natural for me. But like today, it's like I had a really rough day at work. Or
Yeah.
not rough. I mean, it just was not fun. It was
Yeah.
not a fun day at work.
Yeah.
And like today, all I want to do is come home and complain. That's all I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But no, Coffee and Crullers podcast, keeping it happy,
That's right.
keeping
man.
it positive.
Yeah, that's right.
Perfect example, though. So, just with that said, my encouragement to anybody who's listening to this podcast and is, you know, wanting that kind of life lesson to take away,
Yeah.
because I really do. I want to help people.
Yeah.
I think you do too.
Oh, always.
I'm
yes.
gonna look at the camera real quick. I want to help you. I
It's got real creepy.
I really
It
do.
There was a
I've really-
turn that we went,
we're
and
gonna
it was just
we're gonna turn this into NPR real quick. There's many things that you could do to
I just can't even. I just can't even.
No, my point, ending this up though,
Yeah.
is even though I wanted to come home and just be a turd, I really did.
Yeah.
And I was up until filming this podcast. This is a good reminder to me that, you know, when you just start thinking about some things in the past, it then makes your mood change so that from here on out today, I can move forward with a more positive attitude.
Well, it's just finding those bright spots. That's all you have to do is hold on to those bright spots in your life. The poop storms that come down on you.
Poop storms.
Poop storms. That's what I call them. Like those are your umbrellas. Is those good happy moments?
You need an umbrella in a poop storm. That's
Let
for
me tell
sure.
you.
That is 100% for sure.
because you don't want to stink.
That's
That's part of it.
There's
I
a
don't
little
know.
bit more to it
Yeah.
than that. No, but I really do appreciate that about this podcast in
Yeah.
particular, because like I said, we don't plan it, so we don't come together with like, did you hear the good news that happened on the television? Like, we don't do that.
No,
So this is a
we just
constant
talk about
reminder.
ourselves.
And we
and our laughs.
pull memories as we keep
Oh,
going.
yeah,
I
dude.
really do love that. I just want to drive that point home because, you know, on a serious note, continuing that, the news has been crazy with
Yeah.
what's going on, and I'm not going to get into that. But there's just been so much negativity.
Lots of negativity in
that it's
the
like
surrounds
it's
us.
like, oh my gosh, this is awful. Let's not talk about that.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
So we never will.
Yeah, so we never will, and we don't.
Never.
And this
Never
is just one
will.
of those things. It's like, well, let's talk about the things that actually are going to be putting a smile on either our faces or somebody else. And that's a good reminder to do that in everybody's day-to-day life.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, there's a time for the serious conversations and everything,
Yeah.
but we should not be adding fuel to a fire that doesn't need to be there.
Right. No,
And
I get you.
And I feel like that's what this podcast is.
Heck yeah, man.
A little bit of a chill out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Relax.
Yeah. Yeah, bro.
All right.
But anyways, guys, that is going to do it for this episode of Coffee and Crullers. I'm going to go right back into my radio style.
There we go.
This
And-
is how we end things, because I don't want to just be like, bye.
See you later.
You know?
Yeah.
I got to go with that. I'm in a goofy mood today.
Same.
It's all right.
That's usually how I am though. So
Yeah. So that's how we'll
That's a
end it.
normal.
So guys, just remember, stay positive in every single thing that you do.
Yep.
And I'm Adam Black,
I'm Noah Allen,
and we'll see you guys on the next one
which is
in
later.
in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, real quick, PS note, cliff note,
Yeah.
or whatever. The post podcast is over.
Okay.
Okay, podcast is over.
It's over. Yeah.
The week that this podcast,
Yeah.
well, not the week this podcast comes out. During our downtime,
Yes. Our hiatus.
this podcast is going live. Then
Yeah.
there's going to be one more week after that
Yes.
before the next podcast.
Yes.
But in between there, Super Bowl. We started this by saying there was a story. Well, we didn't actually start. So hold on. So quick little
Okay.
story. We
All
were
right.
talking before we started filming this podcast about a story, and
Yes.
we never got to the story.
No.
But that was about.
Just quick fire. Who do you want to win? On the count of three at the same time. 1, 2, 3.
Not the Patriots.
Mother.
Not the Patriots.
Come on, man.
But anyways, the story though, real quick, is we
Yeah.
were going to talk about, and we never made it to on this podcast. So we're now in the postcast. This is going to be the setting for a Super Bowl party here soon.
Yes, it
This
will.
is our living room. We're gonna
Gonna
decorate
throw a
it.
party.
We're gonna throw a party,
Yeah.
and this happened. It was like 3 years ago
yeah,
now.
yeah.
Like 2 years ago when
Yeah.
you first moved from your apartment.
Into yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that year we went to we were because we were gonna talk. Gosh, I'm just thinking about it because it's
It's so
haunted me so bad.
Yeah.
And this is like almost kind of shameful, like
Yeah.
neglect on my part too,
Yeah.
sharing this. But I'm gonna throw my wife under the bus too. This is 100% her fault, and she's
Oh,
laughing off camera because she knows it is her fault.
Yeah.
But so basically, what happened is we had a Super Bowl party
Yeah.
a couple years ago with you.
I hosted, yes.
You hosted, and we decided that the dish that we were going to bring was a crock pot, not a little crock pot, a full crock pot full of little
yes.
barbecue cocktail
And
weenies.
these was delicious.
They were delicious, but we brought so many, we didn't finish them all.
Yes.
And so
yes.
you were like, you know what, Adam? We have enough food. Take those home. We'll be fine. I said, awesome. And we put them in the car. We put everything in, and we had a lot of stuff. We had
Yeah,
tons of stuff in
yeah.
our car. And so what happened was we loaded everything in, and then we got home that night, and we grabbed as much stuff as we could, and we go inside, and then we go, what are we missing?
Nah, we got everything.
We got everything.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
then like the next day happens, and we go, oh, I know what it is. There's a crock pot of weenies in the back of the car still. Okay. This is like day one.
Yeah.
And they're like, it's lids on them. Everything's
It's cold still outside.
It's below freezing.
Yeah.
It's
So
cold.
they're fresh still.
Yeah, they're,
you know,
you know,
edible.
Yeah, it's not a big,
Yeah.
it's not a big deal. And then I'm driving the car, and I have no reason to get into the back. I forget that they're there. Day two goes by.
Do you not smell them?
No, they're covered. Everything.
That's great.
Day 3 goes by.
Oh
Day
my-
4 goes
oh
by.
my
Day
gosh.
5 goes by. Don't think anything about them.
Yeah.
Brittany decides then that she was going to go do something. I've not gotten to the back of the car at all. I've had zero reason to get to the back of the car.
Okay.
And we also have like one of those covers that pulls over the back, so you don't even see it. Like
Yeah.
you can't see in the back of your car.
Out
And
of sight, out of mind.
yeah,
Yeah.
out of sight, out of mind. I'm not thinking anything of
Yeah.
it. And so my wife decides that she is going to put like blankets
No.
and stuff in the back of the car.
Yeah.
And like, because it's winter, and so she just throws a bunch of stuff in there. and she throws the blankets in on top of the crock pot. Okay?
Okay.
So, not a big deal, but now it's really out of sight, out of mind. And so I'm driving, 1 month passes,
Oh my gosh.
2 months
my
pass. I don't ever think anything of it.
Yeah.
Car doesn't stink, nothing. There's blankets. When I do open up the back now, I go, there's our winter like survival section. I don't need to think
Now
anything of it.
Now this is February, March. It's into April.
It's in April. It's starting to get warmer out, okay?
Okay.
We get into, you think this is going to end soon.
No.
That's the funnier part. So, like, we're in April. Let's fast forward to, like, July.
Yeah.
It's hot, okay? So now things
That's even better.
they have fully changed in the ecosystem. So things have changed, and I'm driving, and so what happens is like things shifted in the back, and this sounds like negligence on my part, but it's really not. It's really not.
Okay.
I just don't know what's going on. So I'm driving, and I come home, and I hit a big old bump, big bump, and it's like ching ching ching, and I heard it, and I was like, "What is that?" And the next thing you know, I'm smelling, and it's like, who farted in this car? and so I'm like, that's awful.
Oh my god.
Don't think anything of it.
Yeah.
Literally, it gets into like November,
So
and
we're coming-
I'm literally like, the car smells terrible. I don't know what's going on, and then I at that point, like, I finally realize it's the crock pot, and I'm like, Brittany, I'm like, get that out of the car, and so like we bicker about it and everything, and we have our fight, and it's funny and gross and everything, and then like she said she was gonna clean it out. I was like, I'm not touching it. You're gonna clean that thing out.
Yeah.
And then Brittany decided to wait like another 2 weeks after the fact.
Oh my god.
So what happened though is like during those 2 weeks is I'm driving and I hit a bump and I hear the little glass lid lift and a little sausage fart come out. And every single time I get mad and I come home and I yell about it. And then out of this is going to be kind of anticlimactic, but also pretty funny. Literally after this torture of fart cocktail weenies and almost a year's worth of being in the car.
That's gross.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah.
But like also they're like, I mean, they're solid. Like it's a solid mass now. It's not like what you would think it would be. Literally, Brittany goes, well, I can't do anything with this. she goes, where's the dumpster at? So she literally just grabs the crock pot and throws it away. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like,
You should have done that after the first
month.
month.
She's coming here.
That should have been after the first month.
Here.
That should have
Hold
been
on.
thrown out.
Can I add something here? Let me just add something really quick.
Yeah.
The thing is that when we had the whole reason it got left in the car was because it got really burnt at Noah's house because somebody left
Somebody
it on
left the
high.
crock pot on.
They left it on high. So I knew about the crock pot. I knew the entire time they were in there. I could not bring myself to clean it or to throw it away.
Just let me live in it.
I really did.
Oh.
And I'm sorry. This is a confession.
And I'm sorry. Thank you.
real sorry.
I'm real sorry about
Oh
that.
my gosh, that's great.
So that's
That's a good way to end it.
that's a good way to end it. That is the last Super Bowl story. And guess
Well,
what?
let's hope.
Guess what we're gonna have this year for
We better have those weenies.
we're gonna have cocktail weenies.
It's gonna be your own. It's gonna be
But
your own place. So
we-
we don't have to worry about no
we
one
have
taking
not
to the car.
we
so.
have we have not bought a crock pot since that
Oh my
day.
gosh, okay.
So at least we know that they can't sit in some contraption for a year.
Yeah, that's so gross.
So all right, that is
Oh,
that is
gosh.
everything. That is the postcast. Now we went into a little bit
Oh my
long there.
gosh, yeah.
I love that story. I hope that some people listen to that one.
You should have known after the first month. You just throw away the crock pot. Don't even just needs to go.
Oh.
Brittany, ridiculous.
Ridiculous. All right, guys. We'll see you in the next one.
All right, see you guys.